The Earth is a beautiful place, a place where various ecosystems thrive in their own special ways. Aquatic ecosystems are some of the largest ecosystems on the planet, since the world is made up of 71% water. Less than 1% of this water is fresh, distributed through lakes, rivers, and groundwater. This informational video will focus on the freshwater ecosystems of Atlantic Canada in the form of rivers and lakes. The audio in the back of this video will take us on a journey through the plentiful sources of fresh water. It reminds me of the river behind my house that my sister and I would walk down to just to sit and enjoy the sounds of nature. The water calmly flowing had some sort of peacefulness to it, and if we were lucky, there would be fish and frogs waiting for us there too. Throughout my life, I've always felt a connection to the unexpected rivers and lakes I've found throughout Nova Scotian forests. There's something so special about the functions and interactions in these areas and the life the water provides to so many organisms. There are many systems happening simultaneously within an ecosystem. The system responsible for the continued flow of rivers into lakes is the water cycle. The first step is evaporation, where the water from lakes, rivers, and other bodies of water is converted into water vapor by the heat of the sun. The warm, moist vapor rises into the atmosphere, where it cools into water droplets that form clouds. As the clouds become heavy, the water is released as precipitation back into the environment. Some of this water goes directly back into the lakes and rivers, while the rest is runoff from higher points that makes its way back into the river. This cycle makes it possible for the ecosystem to have a continuous supply of water. The water is important to the variety of organisms living here. One of the most important organisms is algae. This primary producer uses sunlight, H2O, and carbon dioxide through the process of photosynthesis to produce its own energy. Herbivores in the second trophic level, such as mayfly nymphs, then consume the algae. The biotic interaction of interspecific competition can be seen at this level, as multiple herbivores compete for the algae present. The energy then transfers to larger species as the herbivores become meals for fish like Atlantic salmon. This constant transfer of energy fuels the ecosystem. As the organisms feed, they release waste, cycling nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus back into the environment. Nutrients are also put back into the environment as organisms decompose. The white foam seen in this video is a result of air bubbles from dissolved organic carbon from decomposing plants and animals coming to the surface. This foam is helpful to fish and other wildlife as it provides them shade and shelter. The nutrient cycle ends up being a key part of the freshwater ecosystems as organisms have an abiotic to biotic relationship with nutrients levels, and it ensures a sustainable supply of elements necessary for the function of the ecosystem, such as CO2. Sustainable freshwater is necessary for a healthy planet. Billions of organisms need freshwater to survive, whether it functions as their habitat or is used as drinking water. After all, the majority of the human body is water. Unfortunately, humans are the ones damaging these precious ecosystems by overfishing in lakes or polluting rivers with agricultural runoff and chemical waste. During backcountry camping and on annual fishing trips, my father used to explain to my sister and I that planting trees, releasing fish, and living sustainably is much more rewarding for future generations and the future of the planet. If everyone took pride in the environment like he does, I believe a sustainable future would be possible. The answer is in the Mi'kmaq perspective Aduaktumamuk, also known as Tuai Seeing. This perspective is based on the idea of integrative science. It combines Western knowledge with indigenous culture to demonstrate that science can be inclusive of different beliefs. Western knowledge focuses on research-based factual knowledge, whereas indigenous beliefs are based on people's connection and relationship to the land and stories of wisdom told by elders that are passed on through generations. We practice two-eyed seeing out of respect for both cultures and the environment. By combining the strengths of both types of knowledge, the environment can be thoroughly understood and the most sustainable solutions to environmental issues can be found. Thank you for watching. After this video, I hope you have a new appreciation for the freshwater ecosystems around us. Next time you're near a lake or river, take notice of all the parts of the ecological system working together in harmony. This is the reason the environment is beautiful.